Hello and welcome to another episode of Bats the Ball. I am Andrew here to go over the series versus the Phillies here. So, uh, game one, we got Jacob Mizorowski on the mound versus it's Banks and Painter or whatever. Not Trio. Contreras gets us on the board early with a double. The double and it's 1-0, and you probably could have stopped the scoring there because Miz was absolutely dealing. Oh my goodness, that might have been the most dominant performance I have ever seen in my life for like ever. Like Miz was throwing, he beat his own record. He threw it 104.5 in the first inning to strike out Schwarber in the first inning. And then it just like there was no looking back. The Phillies looked offbeat and everything like that. If it wasn't for Schwarber's lone single in the game, it would have been a perfect game. Oh my god, dude! That game was so fun to watch from start to finish. It was insane. So it's like realistically, yeah. Once Contreras got you on the board, that was it. That was all the rest of it was insurance or whatever type thing. Like wild pitch, Mitchell scored in the second inning, and then 3-run homer from Bowers. Churio got a single or what in the sixth inning, and that was all said and done. 6-0 Brewers. Like I genuinely don't think I've ever seen a more dominant performance from a pitcher for like it really was like Miz looked like there was no one in like the thing like in the batter's box at all and stuff like that. And the crazy thing about it was brought up, it was like there wasn't a single 3-ball count the entire game against Mizorowski. Like Miz was just pounding the strike zone, wasn't even going to put it in the mind, concept, nothing of him just going like, nope, I'm not walking a guy, I'm not doing anything. We're just going to throw the best game of our fucking life, basically. It was insane. It's just like, I don't, I mean, I don't, for anyone that's watched, Miz over these last years, I'm like 9 innings. I'm like this is the stuff that you dream of, basically. And it's like, whew. So it's like if only Robert didn't hit that single. Luckily, I was like, and then like Mizrowski got the ground out to get the double play, but it was just like, oh my goodness, had Schwarber not hit that single, that would have been a perfect game. And it was just like, oh my goodness, like history in the works by multiple reasons and stuff like that. And it's crazy, absolutely wild. So Brewers win game one in a score of 6-0. An absolute masterpiece by Jacob Mizorowski. Game two was going to be a little bit more crazy considering that we were going to have Drowan on the mound. It's like got on the field board early. The Phillies did with Edmundo Sosa homer in the second. It was kind of just like Phillies for at the start of the game or whatever. It was like second, third inning, not really much going on for the Brewers. They're the one against Nola. It wasn't until the fourth when Mitchell hit his fourth homer of the year, and then Churio popped his seventh home run in the fifth inning. And it's like, all right, we got it tied up 3-3. And it's like, the thing is like Drowan's out or whatever, and then Patrick comes in, and Patrick's on a rough stretch at the moment. Gave up like, what was it, 5 runs or something like that? Yeah, gave up a double there. Homer to Realmuto. 3-run home run to Realmuto. And then Bryce Harper with a sac fly. Able to get through the inning, but man, it was just like, oh, well, that's probably the ball game. And so fast. Jackson Churio with his second homer of the game, right? That was this game, right? Yeah. The second homer of the game. Scores Yelich or whatever, and all of a sudden it's 8-5, and you're thinking, oh man, there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. I wasn't able to get anything going in the but unfortunately Marsh would single on ball there, making 9-5. Phillies, and the Phillies are like, all right, we got that run back. We got a couple runs back, whatever type of thing. Eighth inning was wild. Fred Keller was giving up hits left and right. The Phillies didn't seem like they wanted to take him out over for nothing. Yelich got there, but unfortunately that was where it ended, as I think Contreras came up with I think guys went second and third or whatever, and just couldn't find grass. So we had our opportunities. Fortunately, the Brewers would fall 9-5 in a game that was pretty wild or whatever. Had that sixth inning not happened, Patrick maybe been a little sharper. He's on a bit of a, I don't know, it's just being a weird thing. I don't know. I don't know what's the way to say it. Like, he just had a couple rough outings between that one in the A's and then this one today, and this one against the Phillies on Saturday. He'll figure it out. I have almost confidence that Chad Patrick will figure it out. It's just like, it was a really unfortunate one to have happen. The fact is the Brewers gave him the opportunity, made it feel a little less bad, but it was just like, fell just a little short. So just a little though. The Jarren Duran comes in and he does what he does best, man. He is hard to hit. That is for damn sure. It's like, yeah, it's like Churio hovered off of Alvarado or whatever. Like, these were some of their big relievers, so it was kind of big. Like Brad, and I was like, we saw Brad Keller, and they're like, "Ooh, I remember you from last year with the Cubs and stuff like that." And so I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you again. Jerome came in through an inning and 2/3 or whatever. Couldn't quite get through that last. Was it the 8th inning or whatever? It's like John Kunal, I think, comes in or whatever. Gave up a few more, hits or a couple more hits in there, but luckily didn't give up any further runs. Miguel came on and pitched the ninth or whatever, gave up a hit, walk, but ultimately struck out all three guys that he faced, or all three outs and stuff like that. So hey, sometimes that's what it takes. So as much as it goes like, oh, it's kind of a bad loss for the Brewers, it's like, I mean, they fought back or whatever. They showed that they got that fight in them, as they have all year. And so you're thinking like, it would have been worse had they not tried to come back or whatever. And it's just kind of like, it's like a game's over type thing. But it's not how this team rolls. Like, they're gonna fight and chip away as best they can. So that, yeah. Game 2 lost 9-8, and then game 3 was we got the big boy on the mound for the Phillies with Christopher Sanchez and stuff. So versus Kyle Harrison. Harrison looked like he was struggling a little bit with his command in the early parts or whatever. He kind of figured it out a little bit more, but it was good enough to get the outs needed. At each part of the game, he gave up. I was like, it looked like with the first batter of the game with Schwarber that he had given up a home run. Luckily, at least seems like he just missed it on the barrel or got underneath it, something like that, and was able to keep it in the ballpark for Perkins, who would be playing right field today. Brewers stacked their lineup with as many righties as humanly possible because of how dominant Christopher Sanchez is. I think out of the entire lineup, the only guy that's a lefty was Mitchell and Hamilton. So, seemed like it was kind of it was like, because Hamilton, Ortiz, and Rengifo were all playing, so we kind of had our B squad in because no Yelich, no Bowers, because Vaughn's playing first. Vaughn made a great play in this game to take away extra bases and I think get a double play as a result of it. Liner right to him at first base. Don't remember what inning that was, but really good. Brewers get on the board early, though, with Jackson Churio's 9th homer of the year. He is on a bender right now. So, put the Brewers up early 1-0 on the first batter of the game. Made Christopher Sanchez nice right at home, and gave the Brewers the lead early on. And Kyle Harrison just worked with it. I don't remember. It's like, how many? I guess I can just look at. I thought they always had like a. Did they not have a single runner in scoring position again? Is that a thing that happened? Because I'm looking at the box score, and it usually says, "Oh, teams with runners in scoring position" or whatever. Brewers 1 for 8. That whatever. But I'm like looking here, and I'm like, I don't. That can't be right, is it? That's pretty wild if that's true. I didn't even realize that because I look at game 1 and it has the same thing where it's like, yeah, there's no runners in scoring position, no nothing. So I don't know, but Like, you kind of got the B squad in there. Days like Churio puts us up on the board early is kind of just like, settling in. It was a pitcher's duel as we kind of were all thinking it was going to be between Harrison and Sanchez. I was a little worried with Harrison going into this game about how, with his confidence, how he'd feel about it after that Vegas one, but it seems like he's kind of put it past him. Like I said, the command was a little shaky at times. I think he got to wasn't as dominant, but is as efficient as he normally is. Whatever, it seemed like he was kind of struggling. Like, he didn't walk anyone. He only got three strikeouts or whatever. So it's like there was just times where I think he was just really fighting his command at times, but it's tough. And we want to try and make the perfect pitch, especially against some of these big guys or whatever. Schwarber, Harper, those kind of guys. So I think sometimes he put himself in to rough counts. Didn't walk anyone, so that's always a positive. But yeah, wasn't until the fourth inning where the Brewers would really break it open as secret weapon Blake Perkins. Perk hit his first homer of the year, and it was a big one. 3-run blast out to left field. That was a no-doubter home run by a mistake from Christopher Sanchez. I don't know if it was a slider or it felt like it had a lot of break towards inward, so it felt like a slider, but I don't know. Something off speed or whatever that he just left right over the middle of the plate. Perkins did not miss it. No way, Jose. So it's like, I think he had Perkins had 2 hits. Yeah, he was unreal. I was just like, man, I love what was it? Levering's call or whatever, where it was like, I was like, his first home run of the year, and I guarantee his feet didn't hit the ground. That I was just like, you know what? Might not have. that was really cool. And that was, I mean, that's all said and done. It was the Brewers domination. Kind of like Harrison got six scoreless, 3 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Uribe came in, gave up a hit, but that was all said and done. I think he got a couple groundouts from there, or maybe it was a fly ball or something like that. No strikeouts for him. Aaron Ashby comes in and works the last 2, works the 8th and 9th inning in with 3 strikeouts. He had a wicked curveball to Harper in the 9th inning, and that I'm just like, good luck trying to hit that thing, because that was insane. That was absolutely insane how crazy that curveball was, and I don't think there's enough people looking at that. So ultimately, Brewers ended up winning the series 2-1 off of our two best pitchers of the year between Mizorowski and Harrison. Drowan, I thought, pitched pretty well. Gave up some early runs, but overall, it's like the Brewers should have been able to pick him up. Fortunately, Patrick was the one who kind of let us down in that one. But, I'm not so worried about Patrick. I think there's just like, he's just in a bit of a rut at the moment, or I don't even know if rut's the right word to it or whatever. Maybe just confidence is a little lower. He's fighting his command and stuff like that. He'll get through it. I have every confidence that he's going to get through it. You see this from relievers at times or whatever. We saw that early in this year with McGill and Uribe, where they were just like giving up runs, constantly or whatever. I don't think really McGill blew any saves or anything like that, but it was like McGill would do that and Uribe would do that, and it was just like we lose a few games because of it. And so it's just like, it's a long season. They'll work it out. They'll lock it in, and here we are. McGill's locked in or whatever. Uribe's locked in, and so you're sitting going just like, yeah, sometimes it happens. Sometimes guys aren't sharp, and that's something to look at, but to not really stress out or anything like that. It's, you still have, I think personally the best pitching staff in all of baseball and stuff like that. It's like, everyone looks at the Dodgers or whatever, and and stuff like that. But I'm like, you have all these guys that are already established stars, whatever. The Brewers have transformed guys completely within like 2 seconds. It feels like Kyle Harrison was was a pitcher that was like, oh, there was a lot of potential there, but maybe didn't quite live up. And now he's an ace. He's like pitching like an ace and stuff like that. He's been so much harder to hit and everything like that. And that Aaron Ashby's whole thing or whatever, you keep getting these guys that come up out of nowhere. McGill, Uribe, Devin Williams, or whatever. Prior to that, it was just like, oh my goodness, Josh Hader. Where do these guys keep coming from? It's like, as they keep making them. It's coaching them to their abilities and everything like that. Corbin Burns, another guy that was just kind of like, who was he prior to like winning a Cy Young and stuff like that? So there's that. Great series win for the Phillies, though. Or for the Brewers against the Phillies. 2 shutouts. Obviously the one by Miz and then the one by Harrison, and the bullpen today. I was thinking that maybe McGill would pitch the 9th inning, but I'm like, Ashby's dealing. Just let him have it. And so that's what Murph did. So that was really interesting. That was really something else. I talked about Chourio, how much he's been on a bit of a bender. He hit 3 home runs in 2 days between Saturday's and Sunday's game. I think he's been hitting extremely well as recent or whatever. He's hitting lead off. I do still like Yelich at the top of the lineup. I wasn't always a big fan of putting our big bats at the right at the start or whatever. Yelich DHing and hitting lead off or whatever. But man, he just sees so many pitches and it doesn't let the pitcher settle in very well. Whereas Chourio is kind of just like sometimes he is a free swinger, and I think that you should let him continue to be that free swinger. So, best way to do that would be to put him a little lower in the lineup and let him do his thing or whatever. Have Yelich get on base, everything like that. And you follow that up with Terang Contreras. There's a reason why the Brewers score so much in the first inning or whatever. And it's like, I do believe it is the top 4 hitters. Like those 4 guys, Yelich, Chourio, Terang, Contreras, Bowers, even if that follows or whatever, the top 5 really are some of the underrated, really. One of the best top 5 in baseball or whatever. It's the bottom 4 that can struggle a little bit type thing. It's like, yeah, Mitchell's good or whatever, and OPS on the rise recently. I was like, it was going towards lower, like mid, like low 700s or whatever, and now it's going back to 770. Looking at that game, 0 for 4 with a couple strikeouts. It's like 755. It's still good. It's still good. It's better than more. That's any more than that, I think, is asking for maybe a bit too much. But it's just the bottom of the order that really needs to come through or whatever. And it's like I'd love to see Andrew Vaughn there a bit more. Obviously with Bowers hitting so well, this is one of the few times where we're actually going to, in Game 3 against Sanchez, where you're not going to see him in there because Sanchez is so good against lefties that you're just like, I just can't realistically put him in. Like putting in Mitchell was just like, look, we don't got anyone else to play center field. We're already going to have Perkins in the lineup playing right over Sal. So it's just like, we need you in there. And David Hamilton, best of luck to you, man. Just do whatever you can. Maybe drop down a bunt here or there. But yeah. I was expecting to see like Terang or Bowers come into the game, and they never did. So I guess it ended up being a good win for the Brewers and a nice off day for that. Yelich was also not in the game as Contreras was DHing. Gary Sanchez was doing the catching that day. So kind of sitting some of our bigger bats, giving them a bit of a rest or whatever. Terang with an off day. Contreras did not get the off day as he was DHing, but an off day for Yelich as well. Hopefully the back's not anything to be concerned about. I just assume it was because Sanchez is so hard to hit with that changeup against lefties. I can't imagine it's extremely difficult. So yeah, Murph going with the all as many right-handed bats as he could. I think it was a smart move to do. It ended up working out. But yeah, it's like back to my point. It was that he's like, we need to get some consistent hitting from Jory Ortiz, David Hamilton, Luis Rengifo, and stuff like that. Or like I keep saying, I feel like in every one of these videos, like when we decide to call up Pratt, like I do think that when the Brewers will call up Cooper Pratt soon-ish. I'm just not sure what's the holdup or what they're working on, or maybe they just want to give him a few more reps in AAA until the point where he feels really confident that he can produce in the majors. Maybe. I don't know. So, either way, it's fine. Ortiz has been swinging the bat better as of recent, too. I think they saw his most recent stretch. He was swinging the bat pretty well, honestly, to this point. I wouldn't say it was anything blow it by you numbers, but I think it was like a 280 something like batting average or whatever, like an OBP of like 3 something. Like he's been getting on base. He's been doing a lot better. So I think that's why he's been getting a few more starts out in shortstop. David Hamilton's been getting some starts at third. Means Rengifo obviously doesn't get the start, but I don't know, man. I just don't know how much more Rengifo is going to be around. So, but we will see. We will see. Anything else crazy that kind of happened that I was thinking about it or whatever? Like I said, Harrison looked fine. I think that today was a very good win against that. And I mean, like the big takeaway goes, Mizrowski is just a freaking stud, man. It's just. I mean, you do that like you do this against like the Rockies or whatever, like with his last start or whatever. Like, yeah, it was impressive. He gave up a run, but yeah, it was impressive type thing, and stuff like that. But it's just like this is. I mean, the Phillies stood no chance. It's like it was just like from the word go, it felt like that the Phillies were just like out of it. I don't know. Like they just never felt like they were in it in that game. And this is a good lineup. This is a good lineup between Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Baum. Marsh has been having a really good year in 848 OPS. Yeah, he's been having a really good year. 322 average. Very nice, very good. The thing is, it's just like I look at them more towards the bottom of the lineup, and it's just like, yeah, that's a little bit rougher. I think that I know their pitching has been one of their main strong suits, and hitting up Christopher Sanchez for 4 runs was really good. Despite giving 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings, his ERA is still 1.82. So still pretty good. Still pretty good. I just realized I'm like the guy who I was like just looking at this because I didn't really watch the 9th inning or the 8th inning. It was like Banks pitched, and he was the opener for was Painter on Friday. Funny how that works. So. All right, enough rambling about that series. Next up we got starting series on Tuesday, starting out against the Guardians, the second place team in the American League Central. So pitching matchup is, I don't even know how to say this guy's name. He's like Slade Solani. There's no way I said that right. But so he's like versus Robert Gasser. He's 3-5 with a 4.83 ERA. The Guardians will be without Jose Ramirez in this series because he broke his hamate bone or whatever, something that same thing that happened to Vaughn earlier this year. Know that Gasser, I still believe in his last start looked better. I'm hoping that he can ride that, and being in an American Family Field this time will show that or whatever. Hopefully. The thing you always have to worry about with the Guardians is that they have a good young core between Travis Bazana and Chase DeLauder. Whatever. Hey, Hoskins will come back. Is coming back to Anfield Field. I forgot he was on my team again. I always forget that. This is not a team to overlook by any stretch of the imagination. Game 2 will be Brandon Sproat versus Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams has been so good for the Guardians. He has a ERA might not reflect it. He's 9.3 with a 3.32 ERA, but he's been very good for them, and so you do worry about that. And luckily, he is a right-hander. So there's that. I believe that because I was like, And then yeah, I thought they were gonna be all righties, but nope. Yeah, Gavin Williams has been really good for the Guardians so far this year. I think arguably one of the better pitchers for them. Game 3 will be Parker Messick versus Shane Drowan. A couple lefties coming on the mound or whatever. So that will be that. So should be an interesting series between two teams that I feel like are underrated a lot, between the Brewers and Guardians. So it'd be nice to see Rhys Hoskins back at Van Field. Hopefully he doesn't kill us. I was like, I know, kind of like it didn't end probably the way a lot of like he would have wanted between him and the Brewers, but I mean Vaughn was just so good last year that you just like, I'm sorry, he just won the spot. He did. So how has Rhys Hoskins been this year? I'm curious. Not great by the looks of it. Average is really low. Like in 56 games, he has 6 homers, 24 RBIs, a 1.85 average. But his OBP is 330. Pretty wild. He's got 34 walks, 54 strikeouts. Slugging of 369, so it's just under 7. So I wouldn't say that's the worst. So why I was like 34 walks. I mean, that is quite a bit, I guess, but is it really that much? I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, like Trang has 47. I guess there's that. I'm good on you, Hoskins. It's like the average is definitely low. Under 200. That's not the great look you want to have, but is that I know this Chase DeLauder was like he came up and he was like really good. Right off the bat, I like got 7 homers, 34 RBIs, 363. It's 745 OPS, so you can't too mad about that. Huh. Just remember he had like a crazy start to the season or whatever. So, and I know this Travis Bazana. I think is how you say it. Travis Banana. 41 games, 4 homers, 17 RBIs, 20 walks, 252. This is about 750 OPS again. Pretty solid for second baseman. Yeah. Good stuff. I don't really know who's going to be playing third base for them with Jose Ramirez. I guess that was announced like today or yesterday. I think the Guardians still have yet to play as of me recording this. Could be wrong. Are the Guardians? They got postponed. Okay. Looks like they're facing the Guardians are facing the Tigers, and they're not playing today. It says postponed. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean that's kind of all I wanted to really say there. So, get to this like again like really good pitching from Guardians. I think between Gavin Williams and Parker Messick is going to be the one. It's going to be the ones to look at. I'm very interested to see we could get from Gasser. Sproats has looked better. He had a really good. He had 6 solid innings from on in that last game versus in Vegas. So I'm curious to see if Sproats going to be on one of his kicks where he's really well or whatever. We just need some consistency from him. Drowan was still pretty good in his last start or whatever. A solo homer here and there, and then like I think a couple of things. There was a lot of like kind of lucky, like very soft hits from the Phillies in his last start in game 2. I just remember like a lot of like he was just like, oh my goodness, there. That I think it was announced today that Murph was saying that Mizrowski's next start will be against the Braves, so they're going to delay his next start, I think, with all the off days that the Brewers are going to have, with Monday being an off day, and going from there. And also pitching against Braves, I believe, is going to be the next series after that. Is going to be more important than pitching against Guardians. So let me head here real fast. Yeah, they got the Braves. It's at Braves. We will see then. I was just curious. I was like, who are the Cubs? The Cubs are facing the Rockies. Of course the Cubs are facing the Rockies. Why wouldn't they be? Who cares? Anyway, that will be all for this one. Is really great from the Brewers against the Phillies. Love what I saw there. Even in that loss, I think there was a lot to take away from that. That was good. Guardians are going to look to stay afloat. I mean, the White Sox have been a very surprising team this year. Don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but you never know, man. Never know. So the AL is wild right now. Oh, there's that. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching this one. I will be back, I believe Thursday will be the day I want to go. I don't know. I already closed it. So either way, it's like off day on Monday. Then then series versus that into the Braves series. So yeah, that will definitely be back on Thursday to break down this series versus the Guardians. So be subscribed to the channel if you aren't already. If you want to continue to follow this, would always be much appreciated. And let's go get them Guardians. See y'all on Thursday. Bye-bye.